right, welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comic books coming out this Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. I'm going to give you a rundown on all the things I'm going to be keeping my eye out for on my pull list, some variants, some variant sets, some updates, and some random things that might be, popping into our stores this upcoming week to get you all prepared for your new comic book Wednesday. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit that alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. We are inching closer and closer to 10K with every day, and we are almost there. But with that out of the way, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Alrighty then, well, we will start off with the top of the stack. This is my top of the pile. First books that I want to read come new Comic Book Wednesday when I pick up my comics. These are those books I can't wait to crack open and get to first. And with that, it is Absolute Batman week. So yes, I'm looking forward to the next installment of Absolute Batman. And this is issue 18. We continue the Poison Ivy stuff. We've got Court of Owls kind of dipping in there as well. And apparently there's teases of possible death coming soon as well. I don't know. We'll see where this thing is going. I'm still on board and looking forward to this. There is a cover A as well as a B, a C, and I think a fourth cover option here with a D. I'm probably just going to get the A, but you can also get the 1 in 25 if you are interested in that as well. Like I said, I'm good saving that buck, probably going with the cover A and just sticking with that. Outside of that, the other book that I'm really looking forward to is the new X-Men book. This is X-Men United. Got teased by our friend Diego Palma, who was the interior artist on this series, as well as a couple other Marvel series before. I got to meet him down in Baltimore. Really hell of a nice guy. And yeah, got teased that this was coming, and he couldn't wait. X-Men was one of his favorites, so I'm looking forward to this as well. It's always good when the creators are excited about what they're working on, as opposed to just being a job. So I'm hoping that excitement comes through on the panels of the pages and looking forward to that with X-Men United #1 coming out this week with a connecting cover set. There is this cover A, and then another option where you can connect it up is this B cover here, which is pretty cool. Kind of wish it was just a wraparound so I could just buy it and get the whole thing in one, but what are you going to do? Lots of cover options here too. It is a new X-Men book after all, so we shouldn't be surprised. There is a Derek Chu option, which isn't bad. There is another option over here. We've got this one over here with Wolverine kind of doing, the crosswalk thing is kind of fun. We got a Peach Momoko option here, also focusing in here on Emma Frost. We've got another Wolverine as a teacher done by Scotty Young, which is kind of fun. I kind of like this one. Bright green is different. You don't often see bright green covers, but it's kind of cool. Then we also have Palma doing this one. This is the university, or what, I forget what they're calling it now. It's gray matter, not gray Malkin Lane. It's like gray matter or something. But anyway, even more as we got another Emma, this time by it's W. Scott Forbes, which for a while now I couldn't figure out his signature. I was looking at it and it looks like two, like TUE on its side. I'm like, how is that Forbes' signature? And then I looked at it differently and thought about, wait, those 3 lines down are probably the W, and then there's an S kind of built in there as well, and an F which is connected to that S, and I see his signature, and now I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I always like looking at artist signatures in that way when it's like a symbol. I mean, I even do my own. It's like a PR connected. Anyway, I thought it was kind of cool. Forbes cover. There's also a foil. We've got that here. And then we've got the incentives, which come in a 1 in 25, as well as a 1 in 100, which, yes, is that Derek Chu, but without the trade dress. So there you go on your X-Men United. And those are the 2 books I'm most looking forward to for this week. But yet, that's not true in a sense that if I were to expand it beyond 2, there are a couple more. And here are my blind picks for this week. And these are some books I'm also looking forward to. Again, without any prior knowledge, just kind of looking forward to based off of what the setup is, the creative team working on it, etc. I think these books could be pretty good. So what am I looking forward to grabbing and starting off this week with some new #1s? Well, one of them is still with Marvel. it's Jessica Jones Alias. We're getting a red band, red label, whatever you want to call it, polybagged, more adult version, just like the original was. But Marvel now does it with the red band under the red band moniker and has them all polybagged. Really like this Mac cover here as well. I've always liked Jessica Jones, so I'm looking forward to this new series. So with that, The Return coming with a new #1. There are other options apart from the Mac, which again, really big fan of. This one isn't bad. We also see we get a little bit of Typhoid Mary mixed in. Really enjoy the Ji Hyung Lee, sorry, not In Hyuk Lee, Ji Hyung Lee option here with her chilling there in the chair with the brown paper bag bottle. It's perfect. It fully encapsulates what we know of the character, and I like it. I also like this 1 in 25 option with Typhoid Mary. It's really cool with the blood and dripping down the face. Really cool image. And then let's bring back the the lounging and take away the trade dress. That'll be our 1 in 100. I don't need to get the 1 in 100. I'm fine just taking the trade dress, but it does look pretty cool on its own. Now, that is one of the blind picks that I have for this week. The other new #1 is something that, admittedly, when I read the synopsis or read the little write-up, I'm like, yep, this is something I'm probably going to enjoy. And that is Tigress Island. I know, it's probably silly. It's cheesecake, not suitable for work in a chain to heat kind of way. I used to enjoy all that kind of stuff. But here we go with the synopsis. A group of down on their luck actresses are kidnapped to an island prison run by a sadistic female warden. Yeah, it's kind of giving you chained heat vibes already just by reading that. And then working together, they're trying to escape and ridiculous, seriously, like all these words, things that I like. And I'm going to be like, okay, I'm on board for some silliness and some inappropriateness as well. So with that, I am definitely getting Tigress Island this week, including there's the cover A. I really like the B cover here as well. There is a third open order option, all of which are pretty good in my opinion. And then there is going to be a polybagged edition, which I also ordered here, but we of course we have to block it because it's not suitable for for all viewers. So it is a polybagged edition. I got one of those on the way as well. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Now, even on top of all of those, I want to remind anybody who might have forgotten or, you haven't been paying attention and you're wondering when the next one is. This is my heads up for the week. And the heads up for this week is that we are getting a second issue of one of those super hot books that came out the last few weeks. And that book is Dork. Again, I enjoyed the read on the first issue. It wasn't groundbreaking stuff, but I was still entertained and I'm still on board to get more, which is why I pre-ordered these a while ago because I like Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, orcs and elves and goblins, Lord of the Rings, fantasy, any of that stuff. Also on board for it, even if it's in a sillier angle like this, but half dork, half orc, all dork. Brett Bean giving us issue 2 coming out this week as issue 1, the second print just came out. So if you missed out on that, a third print is on the way. But here is issue 2, which also already has a second printing on the way. I'm only going to show you the A cover here and the B cover because there is a third option, which we will get to later when we get to the image variants with the Invincible month stuff, because there is an Invincible cover here as well. But we'll save that for later. I believe I just got the cover A on this bad boy, and I'll be fine with that. Just want to read it. Anyway, before we move on, I want to remind anybody, if you need supplies, go over to BCW, get your bags, your boards, your long boxes and short boxes, your CGC boxes, top loaders, basically anything you need to get to protect your comics, cards, collectibles, etc. You can get stuff over at BCW. You hate spending money on supplies, so you might as well save some money while you do it and use my code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order. You help out the channel, you get yourself a discount. You really got nothing to lose by doing so. So with that, now let's move back over to DC for a minute in the Absolute universe, because while I mentioned Absolute Batman, there is another Absolute title coming out this week that I will be picking up, and that one is going to be the next installment of Absolute Green Lantern, and that is going to be part of my pull list as our, where is it? Sorry for the delay on the clicks here, but there we go. And as you can see, each and every week, books that are part of my pull list, I may not mention it for every book, but you'll see that little gold coin. Those are the books that I'm personally grabbing for certain when I go to my shop this week or pre-order them way ahead of time with my DCBS order, because, yeah, I do online ordering. I also pick up at LCSs. I do it all. So I buy a lot of books, but it is what it is. with that, Absolute Green Lantern number 12 coming out this week. I'm again just saving the buck, going with the cover A, though other good options here, like the Gillum March. We also got a Haining, which is also pretty good. But, you know, you got to pay an extra buck for these B covers with DC. So I'll probably just stick with the A. And then here's a third, a third cardstock cover option for that extra buck. But that's it. That is it for our Absolute books, just the two. But we got plenty more DC to go through. So let's get into the regular DC stuff. And with that, we're getting new starts to a lot of series. As DC's KO event has wrapped, we've got a new King Omega. We'll see how that all ends up playing out. But outside of that, a lot of other titles are taking this time to now restart, kick off new storylines, etc. So while I'm not putting up my new storyline thing as I have been in a while, most of these, as you can see, right across the top. I mean, DC's not being shy about it. The Empire starts here. So they're kicking off whatever the new story arcs are in all these books and announcing it right there on the front. So Emperor Aquaman at number issue 15. It's a new start. Cover A. We've got a B option here by Zerdy. We've got Eom giving us a third one here with our K-pop, K-pop Aquaman. We've got the logo things that they've been doing lately. I know I could have separated the logos out, but, DC's been doing the logos as well as the corner boxes, but I did separate those out for later. And then we got another option right there, as well as yet another, even though DC stopped doing the incentives, they're still giving us a lot of variants because here is another Gillum March cover here. So if you looked at that, that's already six different covers, and I took one out of the mix. That's a lot of covers just for a regular Aquaman title, but that's what we're talking about. Green Lantern Corps. So Green Lantern Corps number 14, also starting off. Guy Gardner Born Again starts here. So again, new storyline starting off here. Cover A. We've also got other options here with a B. Ryan Gonzalez giving us that, I don't even know what to call these, the sort of paste-it dress-up sort of things. I don't know. We've also got the logo, if you want to do the logo thing, which are good for remarks and SIGs, obviously. And, yeah, there is a corner box, but again, we'll get to that a little bit later. Outside of those two with DC, we've got a few other things like DC continuing their AEW miniseries event with issue 2. I don't see how wrestling crosses over with superheroes, so I'm not reading this. I don't know if it's good. Please tell me down below. I just don't have the appetite for it, so I just kind of left it there. But yeah, I got Sasha Banks and Lex Luthor. That's kind of a fun little team up, a crossover. I don't know what we would call it, but we also got Harley and Ivy with issue 4 of that little mini series, Life and Crimes, as we've got an A and a B option there for you. We've also got the Black Label Sirens title, Love Hurts, with issue 2. This has multiple covers, including a cover A, a cover B by Derek Chu, and then there is the connecting cover done by Tula Lote here, which you can see connects with the first issue right there. I think it'll connect out even further. As you can see, the whip, we already know where we're going with issue 3. We're going to see Catwoman most likely on that next one, but there we go with the first two Black Labels connecting up. Now, apart from DC starting off new storylines, there's also starting up a new event that's running over a couple of Superman books. So Reign of the Superboys is kicking off, and with that, we're going to do a little section for the Reign of the Superboys, because they're doing a whole connecting cover set there as well, and, separating it out, running across the Superman titles and Supergirl, etc. So with that, Action Comics is kicking it off. The search for Superman starts here, because if you didn't read KO, he is the King Omega, but, we'll see what happens to Supes now that he's got that power, if you will, from Darkseid. Anyway, Action Comics, Reign of the Superboys, starting here, issue 1096, cover A. Is that Dan Mora doing that cover? Always enjoyed Dan Mora. You got a B cover option here, which is pretty cool. Then other ones, the logos, obviously, and then another option there. And then there is that connecting cover set starting where I'm going to show it to you, but it's kind of weird how this is going to build out. I think it's going to be a line up and down, like in total, but we'll park this for a minute because we also have Supergirl coming out this week with issue 11. Hero of Kandor starts here, but it's also part of this Reign of the Superboys event. So doing double duty. Dan Mora doing this cover as well. And then we've got these other options here with the Dodson. Not bad. And then we've got Jeff DeCall just killing it with this cover. And then we got the Supergirl logo cover as well. But yeah, that DeCall's really nice. Then we got this option here, which is always fun. I always like it when there's like a little scene being played out on a cover, and we don't see enough of that with actual word bubbles and comments, etc. So it's always nice to see when we do. Only problem I have with this one is if it would have played better with the full Supergirl logo. So I get it. DC does that limited trade dress on their B covers, but certain covers like this one benefit from a full trade dress. It would have framed this so much nicer in total. But anyway, what are you going to do? We're going to look at that connecting cover next. So there we go. Those are our two connecting covers, which will stack, if you will. And I looked ahead at the next two issues that are supposed to connect up, and they also stack in this manner. But my problem is these two, as far as the online images that have been provided go, don't match up perfectly. And that's sometimes the case with connecting cover sets. They overlap. You got overlay. You kind of miss out a little bit here or there, which is fine with the overlaps. But I hate it when there's a gap, because basically I think that's what's the problem is here. I think there's a gap because you can see where it should kind of line up if you follow the lines and the kryptonite rock there, etc. Not everything's kind of completed off by connecting it up. So I hate when there's a gap missing. But I'm pretty sure that's how these two will connect up. And then the next two will actually stack at the bottom. I'll show you those when they come out. But for now, we'll move on over to Vertigo and see what else DC has in store for us. As besides Dork being a follow-up to a hot issue, we're also getting a hot Vertigo issue with its follow-up title with number 2 of Bleeding Heart. So Bleeding Heart is coming out with issue 2. Looking forward to that. I like the cover A. Fine getting the cover A for only $4. Though there are 2 other covers here as well that aren't bad. This one's kind of cool. And then we do have a third option here as well. But I'll probably just save that buck and go with cover A. And I don't know. I enjoyed Bleeding Hearts. I didn't love it, but I liked it. So I'm still on board to read more. So with that, I mentioned the corner boxes. We've got the corner box variants coming through DC. And to remind you what those are, it's the corner box design. So, right here at the top of the cover, here, I'll bring up Action Comics. So we got Action Comics 1096 right there with the issue number and the trade dress way up here. You see, there's a little corner box art. They took that art and they spun it out into its own little cover. So there you go. That's what we're talking about. So corner box variants. Apart from this one, Supergirl's corner box is here. We got Aquaman's here, as well as the Green Lantern Corps here. Outside of that, DC is also giving us the International Women's Day variants. And while only one of these was marked, I'm pretty sure the second one is part of the group, just because it's done by the same artist and it seems to fit the vibe. And that's this one. This Harley and Ivy, done by Lyrics, looks like it fits along with the other ones. So I'm pretty sure this is one of the variants for this Women's Day, though it's not being marketed that way through many online shops, because here's the Supergirl one right there. But done by Lyrics Lee, and adding to that set. Okay, with that said, let's move on to see what Marvel has in store for us, because they've got plenty coming our way as well. So first up here with Marvel, let's look at the regular Marvel universe, maybe take a dip into the cosmic side of things first, because, well, I like Marvel cosmic stuff. So I'm going to be checking this out. We have Imperial Guardians, number 1, Abnett, been doing this cosmic stuff for a while now. So I'm looking forward to it. Even though I'm not a big Cosmic Ghost Rider fan, I'll give this a try. So we got Gamora, you got Amadeus Cho, Captain Marvel, Darkhawk. Curious to see what we have with this team. So Imperial Guardians, they're also working with, the Shi'ar, etc. But anyway, moving on. Number 1, sorry, lost my train of thought. We've got multiple covers. Cover A. This B cover is actually done by Ivan Talavera, who normally does the sexy girl covers, but this time out, giving us just Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's nice to see expanding a little bit. Then we've got another option over here, and then an incentive option here with R1 and 25. Cosmic Ghost Rider focus once again, and then we'll bring back the Talavera, take off the trade dress, and that'll be R1 and 50. So there you go. Outside of that, the other new number 1 that Marvel has coming out this week is this weird collected webcomic foodie title. I don't know what this is. Spider-Man Meals to Astonish. I don't know who this is for, but there's apparently Spider-Man, Ramen, Jeff the Land Shark. So apparently Jeff's inclusion is going to make people want this, but I don't know. It collects the Test Kitchen's Infinity comic in print for the first time. $6, one shot if you want it. There's the A. We got a B cover here, as well as a third cover option with this Peach Momoko one. But I don't really need this. Just like I didn't really need this title that's finally wrapping up. This is the end for 1776. I heard people say that was good, but it's just not intriguing enough for me. And there's so many books to read. I just haven't found time to even give this a try. It's just not something I was looking for. But it's wrapping up. So there you go. Final issue, issue 5 of 1776 with 3 cover options. Doctor Strange continuing on here. You got Angela there on the B cover. So you got these two. Maybe we'll have more variants, but again, you know what I do. I'll separate them out. We'll get to those later. So these are the 2 other options available here. We've also got Hulk Smash Everything. A couple options on this one with issue 4. Then we do have the end, issue 4 of the end of Marvel's 2099. It's not the end of this mini yet, but this is the end mini series. So there you go. And then from here, with our little bit of a venomized Phoenix, we kind of tie into our Death Spiral. So across Amazing and Venom, we're getting a little crossover event between those 2 titles in the Spidey side of things with Death Spiral, which got off to an interesting start. I mean, we're going to see some characters die, apparently, because we saw one bite it last week. So let's see what happens, I guess, this week with the issue of Venom, because that's what we have for our next installment. We have Venom 255 for part 3 of this mini event. And yes, as I mentioned, classic Spidey villain was murdered at the end of ASM. So if you haven't read it, go take a look at it, as they're doing these Target variants, which may be spoiling things to come. So with that, this is the cover A. We've got this option here with MJ being Venom. It's also interesting to see in that last issue, Peter Parker finally figuring out that Venom was MJ, and he didn't know the whole time he was out in space, etc. That was kind of a nice little moment too. But we'll see how this storyline continues from here and how these two continue to work together as we have this connecting cover set. So the Spider-Man Venom event with that, boom, connects to Death Spiral 1, last week's ASM, and this issue of Venom. It's going to build up, I think, all 9 parts into make a big framing thing. But so far, those are our top 3 for our top row. And then we have that Target variant that I was talking about here. So my man might not be long for this world or this storyline, but we'll see. This was classified cover image in a lot of places, but there you go. The Target variant is showing the next target for Death Spiral, possibly. That said, the 1 in 25 on this was also really nice. I really like this. I know it's a little bit of an exaggerated Venom, but with the MJ in the background and the paint splatter, it also kind of leads in with the Venom, the symbiotes, etc. I like it. So that's a really cool 1 in 25, in my opinion. From here, we'll go from the Spidey side of things to the X-Men corner of the Marvel Universe and look at the X books that we have. I already talked about X-Men United at the start of the show because that was at the top of my pile. But here are the other X books, most of which, I'm going to be picking up because I'm an obsessive-compulsive X-Men fan. So I basically get most of the X-Men titles. At least try them out before I dip out. And so far, sticking with Magic and Colossus. We only got issue 2 under our belts, so it's not a long run just yet. But this DNA cover is probably going to be the one that I grab. But there are a couple other options here as well. So here's a B cover, and then we've got a 1 in 25. And then we've also got an incentive by bringing that B cover back and taking the trade dress off, and that will be our 1 in 50. So there you go. We also are getting the next issue of Storm. So Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant with issue 2, guest starring the Sorcerer Supreme. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. But I'm going to be getting this because I like the last Storm run, and I'm on board for the next Storm run. Cover A, possibly. I might get the Fan Yang. I haven't decided yet on this one. I might get the Fan Yang, which is pretty cool. And then we'll bookmark that as we're going to move to the 1 in 25, which is really nice. And then bring back the Fan Yang because that is also going to be our 1 in 50, but sans the trade dress. The only X title coming out this week that I'm not getting is this Logan Black, White, and Blood because Yeah, you got to save money where you can, and this is just I don't know. A lot of these anthologies just unless it's been a while since I've read a Logan book or Wolverine book, I don't need to get extra stories. It's just unnecessary. So I'm leaving this on the side personally, but I know there's a lot of Wolverine fans out there that will be picking this up. Issue 3, 2 cover options, one of them which is a Noto, and then there is a 1 in 25 option here as well. So if you want to go the incentive route, you can. Now, cornering everything off, we have no Armageddon build up for this week, but we will finally get back to that next week, I think, with Cap. We also have no Ultimate books. You know, the Ultimate Universe is going to be restarting into something else soon. So we got that corner kind of on lock for a little bit. No Star Wars book this week either. So put that on lockdown until we get to it. But for now, let's bring the 20th Century Studios corner of Marvel to the forefront and give them their own little section. This is basically your Predators and Aliens and Planet of the Apes type stuff. And that's what we have this week, the Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four. So this crossover event with issue 2, Greg Land cover on the cover A, is what we've got here. I'm not a big Planet of the Apes guy, so I'm not actually getting this title either. So, but those of you who are, a couple options for you because there's some cool variants. This is the A. B cover, not bad. And then we've got this movie poster homage. So boom, Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four. Classic poster here. Show it with it. Boom. See, look at that. I like it when they're done real well and everything matchy with the, you know, even like the little text boxes, etc. Pretty cool. So we've got that movie poster for Beneath the Planet of the Apes on issue 2 here. And then we also got a Marvel Comics homage as well, where they're putting the apes in on a classic Fantastic Four. So the apes get their movie posters homage. Fantastic Four get their comic books homage, as yes, this is that classic Hulk thing meeting from Fantastic Four number 12. So there you go. Fun stuff. Speaking of homages, we have a whole pile of Doom homages to get through this week because they're doing a bunch of these, and we're getting a bunch this week. So let's see what we've got in store for us from Doom. We've got the Unstoppable Black Cat, which is just the Black Cat title, but a callback to the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl cover there. So fun one. Magic and Colossus giving us this Daredevil throwback. Also pretty good. Storm flipping the script on the Uncanny homage there with Doom. And then we've got this one, which is a Dazzler callback. So Venom's giving us that Dazzler callback, but again, swapping spots with Doom. Still pretty fun. And that is our second chunk of Doom homages. We're getting a lot next week. It looks like we got 9 coming on the way, and then 4 to wrap up the month after that. Stormbreakers for the month of March is giving us these monster covers, of which we are getting 2 this particular week, and one of which I think is one of those Doctor Strange books. But before we get to that one, I think Alias is first. So Alias also giving us this Luciano Vecchio cover, showing Jessica Jones, I guess, as a ghost. That's the monster cover. And then, as I mentioned, the Doctor Strange as a Cyclops here on this one, but this one's done by Diaz. So yeah, pretty cool, right? All right. Before we go over to Image and the indie stuff, one last reminder about supplies. If you need Gemini mailers and Gemini supplies, you can use my code RENA10 over there for 10% off your entire order. So BCW, Gemini, same code, same discount, 10% off your order by using my code RENA10. You save yourself some money buying those mailers and supplies you don't want to spend money on. So save some money while you do it. Again, you help out the channel, save yourself a few bucks, and use that code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order over at Gemini Comic Supply. And if you don't know how to get there, links are down in the description below. Now, I updated my image title with a new little anime me. It's a little bit better than the last one, but there we go. Image first. That's what we're going to talk about next before we get to the rest of the indies. So what do we have from Image coming out this week? Well, Die Loaded has another issue coming up. I got to catch up on reading these, but I really liked the first run, the first arc, so I'm on board for this, but we're already up to issue 5, and I'm well behind reading this, but yeah, still going to be picking these up. 2 covers as per usual, and then there's actually a third, but going to just show you these 2 for now. I'm good with the A by Hans, and just rolling with that. Also, Larry Hama continuing on, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, number 326. We've got Snake Eyes. We've got Snake Eyes in black and white on the B cover, along with the Beach 1 in 10, if you want to get these vehicle covers that they've been doing as part of the latest 1 in 10 run done by Steve Beach. Transformers is also out this week with the next issue at issue 30. DNA giving us this cover. Kirkman and Dan Mora doing the insides of these. Still having fun with this. Who will lead the Autobots? We'll find out. Issue 30, cover A is probably where I'm going, though I do like the Daniel Warren Johnson, right? That's who's doing those B covers, right? And then we have the Corona connecting covers as well. So there we go with that. And this set, I believe, is finished. So let's show you the 6 cover images now, as I think we'll start something new next time out. But there we go. You got the Decepticons on one side, Autobots on the other. Pretty cool set, all built out by Jorge Corona. If if you were getting those. Now we have a 1 in 25 option here as well, if you want to get into that, and that's done by Torrin Clark. And then we do have a 1 in 50 sort of a character design cover by Dan Mora. Almost looks like a card installment of some kind, but yeah, it's still pretty kind of cool. From here, we go into the rest of the image stuff. We've got Blood and Thunder, issue 11, coming out with multiple covers. You got your A, you got your B, your 1 in 10, your 1 in 25. 2 covers on Free Planet. I like the first run. I've got to go back and pick up the issues because I missed it when it came back. So I got to go, and that's why it's not on my pull list right now, because until I can play catch up and get to remember to grab them, I got to play catch up on this. I might wait till the whole next arc is done and then just sit down and read it all at once. But Free Planet issue 10 coming out now. Rogue Sun also coming out this week. So another massive milestone event, I guess. Issue 33, connecting cover on that B cover, while the cover A, Trade Dress Away, is the 1 in 20. And now we'll focus in on that connecting cover set because it is an X-Men callback. Yes, X-Men 1. As you might recognize, we'll get that final part next time out. But here are the 3. 1, 2. Oh, in case the picture's in the way. 1, 2, 3. There you go. For the last few issues, for issues 31, 32, and 33. And then I think 34 will wrap that one up. We also have Seasons. So the Seasons coming out this week with issue 9. I kind of like the first couple issues, and then I didn't finish the storyline. I might have to finish it up. I know it was a little weird, a little silly, but yeah, it's also kind of interesting. Well, we'll see where we're going. It's something about when the clowns showed up. It kind of threw me off a little bit. But anyway, issue 9's coming out now with 2 cover options there. And then we'll go over to the Spawn side of things. We've got King Spawn 53 with 2 cover options, as well as our regular Spawn title, issue 373, with also 2 cover options. Speaking of 2 cover options, Undiscovered Country, issue 35, also has 2 cover picks for you. And then from there, all those books that might have only had 2 covers might have a third, because we have Invincible Month. So the Invincible Month variants, also plenty of them coming our way. I think there's 35 in total, if I counted up right. But yeah, some of them are going to be delayed. I mean, Image books, it's often we see a book delayed here or there. So last week, we only had 2 of the 4 that were planned, but this week, plenty. Blood and Thunder giving us 1 with Alan the Alien. We've got Adam Eve here on Die Loaded. We've got Dork. So Dork issue 2 has a 3rd cover here with the Image Invincible Month variants. I'm curious as a whole how these Invincible variants will do. I know orders have been upped across the board for Image because of them, but we'll see if any of these actually pop on the aftermarket. Specifically, ones that might be related to hotter title like Dork, or is it going to be a lesser known title because they're lesser known? Like, say, a Free Planet, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Free Planet has one. Even G.I. Joe's got one. So we got G.I. Joe, you got some ninjas, and you've got Invincible. We've also got the Seasons. So the Seasons there, mixing it up with Invincible as well. So Spawn with, what's that? It's like Conquest? I think that was Conquest, right? I can't remember all the Invincible villains' names because, I'm still kind of playing catch up on the show. But yeah. So Spawn 373 also has an Invincible book, as well as Transformers. So Transformers, we've got the robot there, mixing it up. And Witchblade, which we will get to later. I held Witchblade out because Witchblade will be in our Cheesecake segment later on. So with that, there are our Invincible variants for this week, and another big chunk coming next week. Moving on, Oni. So with Oni, we do not have a lot to talk about, but we do have, I think, a couple of books. We've got Crownsville, I believe, issue 5 of 5, wrapping up this mini series. Cover A, cover B, and a 1 in 10, which is a virgin. Then we also have High Strangeness coming out with 2 covers. Also, issue 5 with a third option, as well as a virgin 1 in 10. Then we'll go over to Dark Horse. Check out what Dark Horse Comics has for us. And Dark Horse is going to be giving us a couple of titles here as well. I like Dungeons & Dragons stuff, so I'm going to be getting the second issue of Greg Pak's Dungeons & Dragons The Fallbacks. So there we go. 2 cover options there. Masterminds also coming out with 2 options. Issue 4. No, that's not Death Spiral from Spidey. This is Masterminds. What else do we have? We've got Masters of the Universe, The Sword of Flaws, issue 4. Pretty cool covers there. One by Freddie Williams. Freddie Williams. Then we've got a couple other titles also with new installments with Cyberpunk 2077 Chrome, issue 2 of 4, and then issue 2 of 4 of Witcher Bloodstone. And yes, I still do get the Witcher books. So you see my coin over there. And we're also getting this throwback Sagio Jimbo back to 1984, which has a couple of cool covers. Issue 1 of 5 of this mini, but my favorite's got to be this one. So we got this cool 80s vibe, Miami Vice style. It's just fun. So with that, Sagio Jimbo, 1984. Now we'll go over to Boom. Boom has not too much, I don't think, this week. It's actually a light week across the board. So we'll see how that all plays out. But Marion Heretic being our only Boom title with 2 covers, one of which is a black and white by Steve Scroce, which is also our 1 in 10 when we add the color and trade dress back to it. So that's almost like an opposite day sort of thing. So with that, let's go over to IDW next. And IDW has a few things for us, including a couple of Turtles books, starting off with Mainline Turtle, issue 16, coming out here. I was still reading this. I probably am pulling this because even though I'm an issue or so behind, I'm still kind of curious with this new Ujigami character, seeing how this all plays out. So issue 16, even though I didn't put my coin up, I am still probably going to grab this. I'm almost on the fence about it. That's all, because I'm a little behind on reading, but still probably going to grab it. So we've got that. You got an Eastman cover there. We've got a third option as well, and a fourth. And then we can get to the incentives with a 1 in 25 of the Eastman without the trade dress. And then we've got some other good ones here with a 1 in 50 by In-Hyuk Lee. And then there is a 1 in 75 option here as well. I think it's done by Greg Smallwood, if I'm remembering properly. But anyway, also, apart from that Turtle book, we have TMNT Journeys, issue 7, with 2 cover options, as well as a 1 in 10 foil of that other one. So, you got that. Then, in the land of more and more Godzilla variants, it's Godzilla versus Portland. Because, why not? He's apparently running through all the American cities. There was the Kansas City one, the Chicago one. I'm losing track. I don't know. Was he in Cleveland yet? But apparently he's in Portland this week. So Godzilla versus Portland. 1 cover, 2 cover. These are one shots, mind you. So not a lot of tales to tell as he's making these city trips. But 1 and 2. And then we've got incentives as well with virgin versions of both on a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. And is that an alpaca on the other side? I don't know, man. Godzilla versus Portland. It's not something I would have thought of. Just like the Romeo and Juliet one we still got coming. That said, Sonic issue 85. So regular run Sonic title still continuing on with A and a B and a 1 in 10 option if you want to go and grab that. Every once in a while, one of these Sonic 1 in 10s does hit on the aftermarket. We'll see. I'm not keeping up with Sonic these days, so I don't know what's going on in the title to tell you if there's anything new character-wise to look out for, but that generally is a trigger, so we'll see. Lower Decks has a couple of covers here as well. I like the Space Invaders one. It's a lot of fun. And then the second is the start of a new connecting cover. I don't know if it's going to be a full set or if it's just going to be the Enterprise Bang Bang, but it does connect to at least the next issue of Star Trek Lower Decks. And this is issue 17. And now we'll move over to IDW Dark, which is the separate corner of IDW. Soon to have a third IDW Crime, I believe, will be doing as subsection eventually as well. But here's the dark stuff and more horror themed with A Quiet Place. So Quiet Place is being turned into a comic with Storm Warning, issue 1. Interesting. Done by Phil Hester as well. So there you go. Familiar name. Issue 1, cover A. There is a cover B. And then we've got a foil edition, which is really cool. I do like this Daniel. I want to say Daniel Warner Johnson. Dave Johnson. It's just a cool image. I like it. It is foil. I don't know how I guess the red will probably be foil on this bad boy. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in person yet, but that looks like an interesting cover. And then we have a 1 in 25 as well as a 1 in 50. And to be fair, I'm still not seeing the Quiet Place movies. I know about it. I know the whole premise and everything. And I do like Krasinski and I do like Emily Blunt. It's just one of those things I never got around to watching. But with that, The Exorcism is going across the pond. So we have the Exorcism at Buckingham Palace now, as opposed to, the one that was in the White House. That said, issue 1 of this storyline is kicking off here with an A and a B, as well as a C and a 1 in 10 option. So there you go. Apparently, all the world capitals will be getting miniseries as well for the Exorcisms coming forward, I guess. That said, moving on to Dynamite next. So before we get to the regular big old group, let's check out what Dynamite has for us. I think we only got a couple of titles to talk about here. Starting off first with Archie versus Archie X, Army of Darkness. So Ash and Archie. Cool. Francavilla cover. You got a B, and then we got a C and a D option here, as well as a 5th. And then there's more. As you know, it's Dynamite, but these are the 4 original art covers. That's all I'm going to show you. And then you got variations outside of that. Space Ghost number 9 also coming out with the I think we start with a Matina, and then we got a Jay Lee, and then you get a Cho, and then you get a Bjorn Barons. And that seems to be the lineup that they've had and still rolling with it. And if you're reading Space Ghost, I'm sure you're still enjoying that. I'm curious, which of those 4 covers do you get, though? All right. Indies. So now we've got the rest of the indies to talk about, and not a lot. There are a lot of publishers sitting out this week. So those publishers with nothing this week are here. Let's kick that off while I get a quick sip. I'm sorry, it didn't go. Let me click that again. Go. So yeah, all these publishers not giving us anything. I think there was like 21 of them, if I counted up right. Amp to Red 5 to Tokyo Pop, Udon, Wake Vault, all of those companies sitting out this week. Or at least sitting out for this segment. I might have talked about books elsewhere. But start off with Alien. Alien is still doing those Valiant books. So I did Shadow Man on Dollar Bin Digging last week. This week we've got All New Harbinger, issue 2. So issue 2 or 3 of this series. It never stops. Okay. 2 covers and then 2 Virgin covers to go with them. Now we'll move over to Altruist. And Altruist has the next installment of Bullet Adventures with 2 cover options. I think that one's a connecting cover. So the B cover is a connecting cover as well. But I'm not going to worry about that right now as we roll on to Antarctic with Furlough 201 for your anthropomorphic animal character needs. Firehorse. Cool. Bad Idea is finally giving us issue 2 of The Ordained. I feel like issue 1 came out a long time ago. I've been waiting for this. But issue 2, I will be picking this up coming out this week. So definitely looking forward to this. I like this is a cover A. Oh, sorry for the weird transition. It should have just been normal. Here's the cover A. There is a I messed up my transitions on this one. This is the B cover, but I think this third option here looks like it's Colin Farrell. And we know he's the one who's been cast in this role for the adaptation of this already. It looks like they're already marking it up. So this could be the cover and a lot of people go for it because it looks like, the actor. But yeah, that's kind of cool. And then there is a 1 in 20 option again with it didn't transition how I wanted it to. What are you going to do? One more mistake transition, as we also got a 1 in 50 by Sorrentino to take a look at. Now, let's do the proper transition to No Place. So Tim Seeley's No Place here over at Ignition has 2 cover options, and that's it. This is issue 4 as we kick off a new storyline or a new series, The Other Half, over at Ignition, and that has 1 2, and a 1 in 10 that I think is pretty cool. It's almost got like a Disney princess kind of vibe to it. But yeah, so there's a 1 in 10 option there. Up next, Keen Spot is giving us the next installment of Mark Spear's Monsters, which feels like I think a lot of people have kind of put this monster series in the back burner. Like, I don't know, since the blind bags. I mean, it feels like they were forever ago. I mean, it was only December, right? I forgot about it. So we'll see where we go from here with issue 9. Couple of covers here, couple of more, kind of like the Killer Clowns. The 3D one is kind of messing me up because I don't have 3D glasses on right now. And then there is one incentive with this 1 in 50. And no, once again, that's not Death Spiral. That is over at Mark Spear's Monsters with the skin. And yeah, cool look, cool design. But yeah, there's issue 9 of that. Also coming out this week, Tim Sealer's Super Thick Lucky Tales, which, yeah, I don't know much about this title, but I do like that B cover done by his wife. But there you go, $8 on this one, coming out of Keen Spot. There's 2 covers there, and then there's 2 more. Also kind of dig the Sin City-esque vibe there on the 4th one. So, I don't know, kind of interesting. Mad Cave, giving us an Area 51 book that's kicking off here with a new #1 with 2 covers. And then Mad Cave is also continuing a bunch of their other storylines here with Circus Maximus, Cyberarchy, and Where Does the Rainbow End? Those are issues numbers 5, 4, and 3, respectively. One shot of Dick Tracy celebrating St. Patty's Day. I personally can't wait for St. Patty's Day because my wife always makes corned beef and cabbage. And yes, I like corned beef and cabbage. And I especially like the leftover corned beef and cabbage egg rolls she makes with the leftovers after, apart from also the regular old corned beef on rye, which is always good. Anyway, enough about corned beef. It's coming. It's about a week away. Looking forward to it. Anyway, St. Patrick's Day special for Dick Tracy also coming out of this week, along with Gotcha Man, number 16. 2 covers on that one as well. And then Midnight Factory is giving us One Last Trick, issue 2. Remember that issue 1? That 1 in 5 got a little bit hot. May get a repeat action on it. Even though I don't like this 1 in 5 as much as the last 1 in 5, it still catches the eye. So here, by Schmalke, this is the A and the B. Here is the 1 in 10, I'm sorry, on this one. Yeah, could go in the Cheesecake segment. But I didn't because it's the only cover. Not all the covers went that way, but this one definitely did. But with that, let's head on over to Titan. Got a couple of books coming out there with Little Nightmares, Descent to Nowhere. So we've got this couple of covers along with a 1 in 10. I'm sorry, 1 in 10. Virgin version of the one. It's not a 1 in 10. Sorry, not an incentive as far as I'm aware. Then there's also Skull Island. So Escape from Skull Island, Kong book, Netflix series, animated. We've got 2 covers there, and then 2 more, with one of them being a Virgin black and white. Cool. Let's get over to magazines. As yeah, we got some magazines. Forget about the comics. We'll throw out the comics and take a look at a couple of magazines, and you're gonna find I got even a newer segment than that after this. So first, let's get to the magazines, and one of which is sort of an old school. It's comics, the magazine. Revealed Inside, Pulled Box Power Rankings, etc. Interview with the Absolute Batman team, and apparently this is done by comic creators, and it's the book we all want. I'm kind of curious about this, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what this one has in store for us. It's only $3, so I might have to give this a try if I can grab one. Outside of that, Irie, is it Irie? It should be Eerie because it seems to be on one of the spooky side of things, but it's spelled more like Irie. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so issue 8 of this magazine coming out, $9 if you want it. And then we're getting 3 issues, 25, 26, and 27 of Shudder. Bang, bang, bang. Awesome covers there. And then 3 issues also out of Warrant Publishing for Vampirus. So we've got issues 29, 30, and 31. Also, awesome covers there. You got San Julian, you got a Frazetta. You can't go wrong there with some of those. So cool covers there. Good stuff. And then, oh, sorry, I think that's it. This is, skip this. This is not out this week. So let's get into the new segment that I have for you. Manga. Yeah. I don't know much about manga, but I know a lot of people are reading it these days. So I figured, you know what? I might have to dip a toe in this pool once in a while, but for now, I figured I could at least spotlight a few things that I think are popular, or things I hear some noise about, etc., or things that just look interesting to me. And that's kind of what I did with this first week. Because again, I am not admittedly a regular reader of manga stuff, but again, these things I think come out technically on Tuesday, more the regular book publishing day, because a lot of these are collected editions, not like your floppy comics. We're talking about digest size stuff, trade paperback size, etc. So we are getting volume 111 of One Piece. I know One Piece is popular. The show is returning, I think, this week, right? Season 2. But the original manga and anime, etc., still rolling on. So One Piece 111 coming out this week on the 10th. Then we also have a couple other things. Again, this kind of caught my eye. Akira Falling in Love, #1. So you can get on board right at the start with this one. They have a lot of different titles. Some more romance based, some action based. They hit a lot of different things over there. So Dungeon Friends Forever, issue 6. So yeah, I don't know. I saw Dungeon. I was thinking Dungeons and Dragons, so it kind of caught my eye. But it's a sweet romantic comedy where a dragon girl and her childhood friend hit the beach. Okay. Then this one caught my eye. I mean, it's also an issue 1, so you get right on top of this with Girls Zombie Party. Can't go wrong with that. So we got that one coming out this week. And then Howl of the Heart. I'm like, okay, seems almost interesting. So we're going to some feudal Japan style. In a war-torn era, a man devastated by the loss of his lover and fellow soldier discovers that his beloved may still be among the living. All right. Again, and they're #1, so you can jump on board early. And that might be what I do, just to give one of these or two of these a shot. I might try at the start, because like One Piece, I feel like I'm like ages behind. I'll never catch up on that. But who knows? The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest. This is number 29, but I think this is one that is a popular one out there by a lot of people. And then we got some other things, coming out too. Again, trying it out. Let me know what you think of this little segment, putting it in here. I'm not going to try to spend too much time on it because, again, I don't know enough about it. I'm just kind of spotlighting a few things. So with that, let's roll on and check out the facsimiles this week, because we have more facsimiles than I thought. So with that, let's start off first with DC. So I think over at DC we had Action Comics. Yeah, so we got Brainiac. So Brainiac's first, getting the facsimile treatment with Action 242. You got a regular edition, you've got a blank, and you've got a foil, which is $3 more. So it's $4 for the regular one, $5 for the blank, $7 for the foil. DC also giving us the first Joker Fish. I believe this is the first issue with the Joker Fish. So Detective Comics, $4.75, $3.99 for the regular one, $4.99 for your blank, and then $6.99 once again for your foil edition. Invincible also giving us a facsimile edition for Invincible #1, as season 4 is about to start as well. So we've got facsimile of issue 1, and then we've also got a blank edition there as well. Both of these are $5. And then we've had 2 foil editions of this book, with a foil edition almost of that same issue 1 classic. And then we've got this Amazon version, because I think this is a variant that was released before of a reprint, but now released as a foil version. Archie is giving us a Betty and Me #1. Also kind of fun. I actually kind of like the Endless Summer poster homage here, so that's kind of cool. So you got those 2 there. And we've also got Love and Rockets #1. So if you want to go catch up on Love and Rockets, there you go. Got a facsimile of that issue 1 from way back in the day. And then we'll roll on to later prints. And we have a lot of later prints this week, because I don't know. I guess Skybound saw that Absolute Batman's, and they had all their Absolute reprints coming out recently. So they said, you know what? What can we do? What can we do? We've got it. Let's do the 10th reprint of Transformers #2. And let's do 10 of them. So here we go. There's 1. There's 2. I know. You're going to say they're the same cover, but they're not. The second one is Ancelotti, Jay Ancelotti, doing an homage to the original cover that was on the original #2, but both getting the gold foil sort of treatment there with the trade dress. So there's 2. Here's some more. You got, is that Laserbeak? No, Laserbeak was the gold. I always get them confused. Anyway, and you got Starscream. Pretty cool option there. And then we got a Megatron and a Prime and some of the other Autobots over here. Again, this is issue 2, 10th printing. Then we got another Starscream here, another Optimus there as he's learning about death, holding the dead deer. And then we got these file card options with Wheeljack, I believe, and we got Soundwave on the other side. So there you go. A lot of 10th printing, 10 options. Well, we also got the third print for issue 25, which is more recent, kicking off the new creative team, etc. Megatron back on both. Also, not to be left out, Something is Killing the Children also decided to get in on the 10th printing action and giving us multiple options here as well, with the OG blank sketch. And then I think there's a glow-in-the-dark version. That's what this Virgin one looks like. I think it's a glow-in-the-dark or something. Anyway, 10th printing there. If you missed out, here's your 10th bite at the apple. Now we've also got Iron Man #1. So the new Iron Man that just came back. Second printing here from Marvel, along with a 1 in 25 option. So you got your incentive. And then we can get to the Cheesecake segment, which has a couple of books for us this week. I mentioned the Witchblade, which we will get to. But outside of that, we also have Harley and Elvira, issue 5. So I think this one should be wrapping up, right? But there we go. Couple of options there. I think my favorite is the Eric Kanata. I think that's who did that one. But there is a Linsner. Can't go wrong with Linsner. We also got a Red Sonja. So Sonja Reborn here. Couple of options. Bang, bang. 2 more. And, well, for good measure, we need that cosplay. So there's your cosplay on Sonja Reborn. And then we can get the Witchblade, which I mentioned earlier in the show. So issue number 19 of Witchblade, giving us this. Is that Aphrodite 9? I'm just realizing it now as I'm looking at the covers, like bringing back some of those old Top Cow characters, connecting some dots, I guess. But then we have this option here on the B cover, which will also stick with, because that is also our 1 in 25 when we take the trade dress away, and it is also our 1 in 50 when we take all the color away from it. So there are your incentive options for your Witchblade number 19. How many places are ordering 50 copies of Witchblade number 19? Probably not many. But finally, let's get on over to Black Cat and Black Cat number 8. Yes, this is a huge cover, but admittedly, I'm not a huge fan of it because I don't really like the Venom face. Other than that, love it. I mean, Black Cat's awesome. I like the texture on Venom. It's just the eyes. The eyes on Venom look weird. And you got MJ doing a weird little thing. But other than that, I'm still going to get it because I'm a Hughes collector and it's Hughes cover. So still going to get it. Here is the Carrie Andrews cover, which is a connecting cover to the last issue. I think we mentioned this last time, but there we got Black Cat connecting up. Yep. Boom, with MJ. So 7 and 8. That's a pretty cool connecting cover set, if you ask me. And then we've got another option here. And then we've got a 1 in 25, which ain't half bad. So there you go. All of our covers for the week, but not my favorites. Here are my favorites of the week. And the best ones are first with the incentive, in my opinion. Again, you disagree all you want. Please tell me in the comments down below. I ended up going with the lounging Ji-Hyung Lee alias #1 because I just dig it. Like I said, it completely encapsulates the character. She's just exhausted, paper bagging it, lounging in that chair. I like it. So that's my favorite incentive. And then going back to the Jeff DeCall, knocked it out of the park with this one. He hasn't been doing as many covers as of late, but this one, very, very good in my opinion. So I like it. Background, everything, cool. I like it. So Supergirl number 11, that is my favorite regular cover of the week. And with that, that is all I have for you. So thank you for all of the support and for all the support for the channel. I was able to hopefully get this done in under an hour today, even though I added that new manga segment. And we'll see how that goes going forward. Let me know what you think in the comments down below if you want more of that or anything else you think I should be including on this show. I know we don't want to overdo it, but, you know, we could touch on a lot of different subjects. I don't want to go to toys and that collectibles, but manga, I felt like it was fair game. And with that all said, I'm not going to waste any more time. We're here. We're done. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for stopping by and checking this out. Hopefully, I gave you a heads up on some stuff you weren't aware of for this week, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.